lips. And she said, I don't want to be lifted like some girl. And I said, no, Madonna, not like a girl, like a queen.
Welcome to Dance Dish, where the dance ends and the dish begins. I'm Kevin Stay, your host for today's episode. Let's give it up for our gorgeous, fabulous live audience. Once again, we are doing things a little differently this time. We're serving it up a little bit differently. I am here with the incredible, iconic Mr. Vincent Patterson.
Oh, thank you, Kevin.
Not worthy, not worthy. Oh. I hold you in such high esteem, and you've given me access to my technique as art. I didn't have that prior. It was just something I did. And then working with you and your attention to communication and how every movement is an opportunity for communication, you gave me access to this thing I was doing to become an art and my life. Like truly, like from that moment on, for the past 30-something years, you've given me that. So thank you.
Oh, well, you know, as a sculptor, body sculptor, so to speak, as a choreographer, I could never have had a better piece of marble than Kevin Stay. Truly. Truly. From the bottom of my heart.
Well, that said, back to stories, I'm gonna set a scene for you. We are rehearsing for Madonna's Blonde Ambition tour. I've been hired as an associate choreographer, not even knowing what that meant, and sitting in a room with all these kids from New York who are full of attitude, like gay volume 20, like in shock. I don't even really know much about Madonna other than that she had a couple albums. And she did a duet with Prince, that's all I knew. And we're in this room, and our current choreographer, Carol Armitage, she's a modern choreographer, contemporary choreographer from New York, has come in, and her process is very workshoppy, which was great for her, but it demands a lot of time and a lot of input from her dancers. And we're trying to, throughout the day, make her choreography work or look good, and it's not our vocabulary at all. At a certain point, Jose stops everything that he's doing, lights a cigarette, goes to the doorway, takes a puff on his cigarette, tells Carol, tell me when you're done, and like ashes towards her.
Oh my God.
And the next day we come back and she's nowhere to be found. Carol Armitage has been let go. And then in walks Vince.
Yeah.
So set the scene of the phone call that you got from Madonna.
I had worked with Madonna on 2 projects already. Pepsi commercial, with Joe Pytka directed. Then she did Express Yourself, the video, and she called me up and said, would I do it? And I said, I'd love to. So she said she wanted me to work with her on the Blonde Ambition tour. Well, I heard after a while that dancers were being auditioned, that my agent called Freddie DeMann, her manager, who said, no, Madonna's gone another way. She wanted to mess things up a little bit, and she brought in a modern choreographer from New York. Well, I didn't know how it was going. I just thought, nah, forget it. I'm not part of that incredible project. And I was sitting at home, again, got a phone call, it was Madonna. I thought, this is very strange. Hi, Vince, how you doing? I said, Madonna? Yeah, how are you? I said, okay, look, you must want something. What do you want? Kidding, jokingly, but she said, I made the biggest mistake of my life. I hired a woman and she just can't do it, and the guys are throwing lit cigarette butts at her, and you know, and nobody's listening to her, and I've got this tour and I've got dates set, and I'm you can do it. You know how to control me, you know how to control the dancers. You can do it, please, you know, I need you. So the funny part was that after she begged me to do the thing, when it came down to negotiations with my agent, she didn't want to pay me anything, basically, because she had paid all this money to Carol and she had to pay that out. So not only did I have a condensed amount of time, but she didn't really want to pay me anything, very little. So my agents talked to her management and said what we proposed, which we thought was very fair. And my agent got a call from Madonna. Madonna said to my agent, what the hell do you think I am, a goddamn bank? And he said, no, Madonna, you're an institution. So anyway, she said, well, no, I'm not paying it. So that day you're talking about, I thought I wasn't doing the gig. I went and watched a movie because I was so depressed. Came home, I had all these messages. There was no cell phones at the time. From Madonna, from my agent, from Freddie Demand. Where are you? Get down there. She wants you to do it. The contract's good. So I walked into that room with all of you guys standing there, and I walked in and you were all like staring at me like, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? And I remember I saying to you, can you show me what you've done so far? And there were maybe like 3 counts of 8, and you'd been working for like a month almost, you know? I was like, oh my God. So we completed the whole opening of Express Yourself that afternoon, and you guys were getting ready to film Vogue the next day. Which Jose and Luis had basically designed all the movement, but Madonna said, can you just kind of help us out and clean it up and stuff like that? So I did. I didn't choreograph it at all, but I did shape it a little bit and make it look a little cleaner and stuff like that.
You certainly directed it. You staged it. You gave it shape.
Well, yeah, but whatever.
Not to take anything away from Jose and Luis.
No, I don't.
But you came in and really saved the day. Like, we were all kind of like floating around, like, what's happening, what's going on? We don't have anything to like grasp onto.
I helped make it a dance. Yeah, I helped make it a dance, basically.
That part.
And then we had 21 days to put 18 songs together. 18 songs in 21 days. The most beautiful thing that happened was that we all knew we were under the gun. We had no option. We had no choice, including Madonna. She hardly ever bitched about anything. She was so happy, you know. Everything was progressing. I would go home. I would put the headphones on with my little cassette. I would listen to the song about 40, 50, 60 times. I would fall asleep. I would wake up in the morning and the entire piece was in front of my eyes. We'd work on it that day, go home, same thing happened, come back the next day, start at the beginning. We would review what we did the day before and move on to the next piece. Absolutely an incredible, incredible situation.
He says she would learn it. It wasn't quite that easy. There was always pushback. I'm doing what? Why? And why should I be lifted?
That was the only one that I ever really remember her saying something about. I had a piece in the Like a Prayer section. And I wanted her to be lifted by the guys, and she wasn't used to being lifted by the guys. And she said, I don't want to be lifted like some girl. And I said, no, Madonna, not like a girl, like a queen. And she said, okay, boys, lift me.
And that said, I want to talk a little bit about your artistic process. And you mentioned this in your book, Icons and Instincts, available on Amazon now. Go rate and review. It's fantastic. You mentioned the artistic process in your book about trusting your instincts, doing your homework, and focusing on your work.
I've always been a preparation freak. I mean, that's just kind of who I am. And I think it goes to do hand in hand with my insecurity. I always think that I'm not talented. I always think that I never have an original thought in my head.
Like imposter syndrome.
I'm scared to death, always, you know. So I do so much homework and so much preparation, reading books, yanking things out of magazines, things that will inspire me. For me, I've always been nervous about improvisation. So when I have done so much homework, I feel that, okay, I feel a little bit more comfortable. I can walk onto a set, I can walk into a room, and if things need to be changed, if I'm not the director, I'm just the choreographer, and the director wants something different, the producers want something different. I've done enough homework, I've thought about this enough that I can make changes pretty easily. And I know that those people that I'm working with will go right along with me, because if I've taken them down one path, it's kind of easy to now just switch to another place. Madonna, I don't know what she's like these days to work with, but at that time she was so malleable and she was so hungry, and people forget, you know.
She had a lot at risk.
Well, there were a lot of people that were neck and neck with Madonna at the time. We don't realize that now. Oh my gosh, Sade, Janet Jackson, Whitney, Paula Abdul. There were so many people that are on the same level. And seriously, as you well know, the visuals of Madonna in that black suit or in the cone bras with that hair pulled back and that long ponytail, I mean, that became an image all over the world, all over the entire world. And that one tour, yes, we did take tours and move them into a whole nother stratosphere. But I think that what we all did together, not just me, it took everybody working together to create that Blonde Ambition tour. The set designers, the lighting designers, Gautier and the other costume designers, it all came together in an unbelievably beautiful way. And everybody deserves thank you for it, not just me. It was in all of us together working as a family. Beautiful.
Amen. And on that note, let's toast to teamwork.
That's a great thing to
That's a
toast
good
to,
one, right?
Kevin.
Toast to teamwork.
Let's toast to teamwork, and let's toast to
Dance
Dance
Dish.
Dish.